problems with the inner layer pattern, since after bonding, it won't be possible to make The copper plating quality of each panel is controlled by the operator. Then they are transferred to the outer layer imaging area. In the first stage, the surface preparation equipment is used. A mechanical surface preparation using abrasive brushes for panels thicker than 0.5 millimeter is employed, while thinner panels pass through a chemical preparation line. The panels are cleaned of contaminants, and the copper surface becomes rough, which is necessary for the best adhesion of the photoresist. The photoresist is applied on the automated lamination line. The panels are gathered into a cassette and transferred to the imaging area. The direct laser imaging machine identifies the registration holes using optical cameras and verifies their location and diameter. If the panel complies with the quality criteria, the photoresist is selectively exposed with a UV laser. The combination of automatic print alignment and high-resolution printing provides for the imaging of PCBs up to 3 mil line space. Portions of the unexposed photoresist are dissolved in the developing solution, opening the holes and the pattern to deposit the galvanic copper. After a quality control inspection, the panels are transferred to the pattern plating area. Panels and moves it sequentially through all the necessary preparatory steps, including surface cleaning, micro-etching, and pickling. Further, the fly bars with the panels are plunged into the copper plating bath for 60 minutes. To ensure good conductivity, about 25 microns of copper are deposited onto the walls of the holes as well as on the surface of the conductors and contact pads. As a result, with an initial thickness of 18 microns, the total thickness of the base and electro-deposited copper will be 35 to 40 microns. In subsequent operations, 5 microns of electroplating tin is deposited over the electro-deposited copper in order to protect the pattern during the etching. The coating process is controlled by a computer to provide the required parameters of the plating. After coating, the thickness of the deposited copper is tested by a non-destructive method. passed with a squeegee through a screen over the entire surface of the panel. Covering the pads with immersion gold is performed on a line equipped with an auto operator. The automated line allows for precisely maintaining the processing time to achieve a consistently high-quality coating. The panels are collected in the cassette and pass the stages of preparation, cleaning, micro-etching, and activation. Next, the cassette is plunged into a nickel electroplating bath for 22 minutes. system for the V-scoring and milling machines allows for processing the PCBs on a metal base.